Gentiles is foolishness to them. But for those of us that understand God, it is the wisdom and the power of our God. And rather than back up, we've got to keep moving forward. Amen. And let the world know that this is still God's world. And the Bible said after they declare that they don't want to live by the standard of God, amen, that he that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. Can I tell you, sons and daughters, God is not nervous about the condition of the world. Amen. God's not worried about people who declare that they don't believe in God. I told you before, God is not God because you believe in him. God is God because God knows that he's God. And if everybody turns their back on God, it doesn't change the fact that he's still a holy, that he's still righteous, that he's still in control. And you've got to know that today, that our God is still in control. Oh, I know men now, amen, don't want to retain the knowledge of God. They're trying to expel him out of schools. They're trying to expel him out of Congress. They're trying to expel him out the pledge. They're trying to take him off the money. But the Bible said he that sitteth in the heavens, he's going to laugh. Oh, y'all ain't saying it. You know why he's going to laugh? Because kings and kingdoms shall all pass away. Oh, y'all ain't saying nothing, but there's something supernatural about the name of the Lord. I wish I could get somebody to look at your neighbor and just tell a neighbor, without God, you can do nothing. It is the mark of a foolish man to think that the creature does not need the help of his creator. It is foolishness to think that we, amen, cannot get along in this world. It's foolishness to understand, amen, how hostile the world is, how ugly existence can be without God, and still think that we can move outside the involvement of our creator. And that's the reason why I tell you, amen, anybody that thinks they don't need God in this hour is foolish. Amen. When people are so evil and they're so wicked in their minds now, amen, we need God. And I don't care if you're going to the corner store, you need God to bless you and bless your going out and your coming in. I don't care, amen, if you're going over relatives' houses, because the Bible said the love of many is going to wax cold. You've got people turning on each other now. Amen. You've got children against the parents. You've got parents against the children. You've got husbands against wives now. We need God every day. Amen. And all through the day. And I don't care how insignificant you think the action is. You need the wisdom of God, because the creature needs the creator. Amen. And we can say we're smarter now. We can say we don't need God now. I was reading a group of scientists, and they wrote a book and they declared that science has now superseded the need for God. We don't have to worship God now. Amen. We've got science and we've got knowledge now. And what men attributed to God years ago, we found out there are only natural occurrences. It's really nothing supernatural at all. But can I tell you, brothers and sisters, the Bible said that it's the fool that had said in his heart that there is no God. Y'all ain't saying nothing. And I don't care how many degrees you got, you ain't never that smart that you can tell God that he ain't needed. Hush, fool. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Can I talk to somebody here? You ain't never that smart that we can kick God out of his own world. We'll always need God, because we are the creature and he is our creator. And I don't care how far science has gone, science is still limited. Science can take you to the point of calling it the Big Bang, but if you ask them what happened 2 seconds before that, nobody can tell you, because wasn't nobody there but God. All I know is that in the beginning, God. Or can I talk to somebody here? I said in the beginning, God. He's the Alpha, he's the Omega, he's the beginning and he's the end. He was there when it all started, and the only reason why it's going to end is because he pulls the plug. I wish I could get somebody to to look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, God is still in control. I said, God is still in control. Y'all get quiet here. It was Nietzsche, Friedrich Nietzsche, that made the foolish statement that God is dead and we have killed him. In other words, we've come to the place where we don't need God anymore. We've got to live by new tenets. We've got to live by new standards because God is dead now. But I come to tell you, just a few years after that, God said Nietzsche is dead. Could I talk to somebody here? If God did die, I heard somebody ask me, where's the death certificate? I want to know, when was the funeral held? How many pallbearers did it take? Y'all ain't saying nothing here. If God did crawl somewhere and die, surely we would have smelled the stench from the decomposition of his body. But I can tell you this, if the world is still being held together by the word of his power, then God's got to live. I wish I could get somebody to look at your neighbor and tell him, neighbor, I talked to him this morning, and believe me when I tell you, he's doing fine. He's still got to be a shunda. He's still the Jehovah Jireh. He's still a way maker. He's still a burden bearer. He's still a heavy load sharer. He's still my walking cane. He's still my dying bed maker. He's still joy and sorrow. Say look at somebody, tell him he's got to live. He's got to live. Because if he was dead, who makes the sun rise in the morning? I said, if God is dead, then how did we kill him? In order to get rid of God, we got to first know how to drink up the sea. Before we get rid of God, we got to know how to make a world. Are y'all hearing what I'm telling you? They're trying to kick God out. At the end of the day, they're going to find out that without God, we can do nothing. Look at somebody and just tell them, neighbor, he's still alive. I said he's still alive. And tell him how you know he lives. Because he lives in me. I can feel him walking up and down on the inside. I know he lives. Acts 17 and 28. Says that it's in him. Thank you, kind spirit. It's in him that we live. It's Dr. Smith. It's in him that we move, and it's in him that we have our being. I'm trying to tell you, the reason I know he ain't dead is because I'm still here. Y'all get quiet here. I said the reason why I know he's still God is because I'm still here, and heaven and earth is still here. If he died, his word would have failed, and he said, before one jot or one tittle of my word failed, heaven and earth got to pass away. Look at somebody again and tell them, neighbor, I know he lives. Don't let the heathen lie to you. Don't let that fool get in your mind. They can say we don't need God, but we need him for survival. We need him to take the next breath. We need him to put one foot in front of the other. I wish I could find about 72 of you that'll lift your hands and just tell the Lord, I need thee. Oh, precious Lord, I need you like I need air to breathe. Y'all ain't saying nothing here. I need you like a fish need water. I ain't saying nothing here. I need you like the tree need the soil. I can't get by without you. The reason why people are not honoring him now is because they really don't understand how necessary he is for their own survival. Can I tell you that without God, you'd have still been laying in the bed this morning? Sitting up all arrogant, acting like you woke yourself up. Or if God hadn't touched you, the alarm clock would have still been going off and you'd have still been laying there. Can I tell you the only reason why you got up was because God touched you and said, rise. Y'all ain't saying nothing here. And look at you that